Yo, what's up? I'm Prakash Bestman, aka Pochano, and I represent Tailware Entertainment. I'm CEO of Tailware Entertainment. I'm a music producer and a rap artist right here in LIB. My greatest strength as a music producer is my creative capacity. I mean, my intelligence quotient, your IQ, or your emotional quotient. I talk about my creative quotient. I have a very creative mind. Ever since as a child, I've always been able to see solutions to problems where a lot of people didn't see it. Like, also in school, I never followed the script. I always questioned. I always wanted to break the rules. I always, like as a child, while most people were fascinated with what they saw, watching the TV, what they were looking at, I was concerned about how did that happen. I wanted to know what was in the television, you know. I always wanted to go behind the television. I wasn't, fascinated about what was on the television. So I think my strength as a music producer is just wanting to break the rules, never wanting to do what everybody else is doing or what was already happening, but what can I do differently? How can I stand out? Wow, what makes a good song? A good song for me is a short film, a statement. Like how I produce, like how I create music. First off, it has to have some kind of a moral impact for me. It has to be able to inspire somebody. It has to be able to tell a story. And if you look at a full story, you have introduction, you have the setting, you have the body, and then you have the closing, if I'm correct with the different parts of a story. So it has to be like a short film, something that from the start to the end, everything tells a story. The way it starts, how everything is pieced together as far as the lyrics, the delivery, the music that creates the atmosphere that is attached. Because sometimes you might put a certain lyric on a certain music that don't really gel together. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to tell a sad story, then the music has to complement the lyrics. So there are different parts to a great song. There are so many parts that you don't really, you can't really explain, but they are all happening together at once. It has to be a short film. It has to be something that from the start to the finish, it tells a story, it's interesting, it's entertaining, it's informative, it's creative, and it makes you want to listen to it again. That's a great song. A great song always wants you want to listen to it again after you hear it. It's like a ride. It takes you up, it brings you down, and then you want to go through the process again. Well, the new website, Hip Cool Nation, so far we're getting good response. It may not be massive, but it's a new venture, it's a new idea, and I stand to be corrected, but I think it's probably the first website where you can go directly, that is owned by a Liberian. I may be wrong, but you can go and purchase a song directly from the website and have it, directly into your phone. And so far, the response has been good. We are hoping it's going to get better because we haven't really promoted the platform. Just fans and people that know us going there, purchasing, the music. We set the minimum for a song is $4.99, but we have people going on the website, but one song for $25, $20, $15, $10. Even somebody paid up to $50 for the song. So far so good. It's going good. And the mission of the website is to cut off the middleman between me or other artists that are going to come on the website as Liberian artists, to cut off the middleman between us and our audience. earlier on when I started to release music as an artist, like when I did my first song and put the video up on YouTube, product of a field state, I'm talking about in 2012, I had a lot of people ask me, oh, we love your music, but where can we get your CD? How can we support you? And that rang a bell, and for a long time, that has been my goal. Not to just produce music, because out here we don't have formal, infrastructure or platforms where people can go and buy the music that they love directly, and the money or whatever it is goes directly to the artist. Most of the other mediums that we have are just for promotional purposes, or here on the ground Liberia, people parrot your music to go to the parrots, the street corners on their laptops, and so the artists do the work and the parrots get the money. And for that, that has been a serious issue, and something I've been working on for a long time, and by God's help, we're able to, eventually register a business in the States and be able to have a US bank account that makes it easy for us to have access to payment processors like PayPal, Stripes, and just the global financial infrastructure as a whole. So this is a big step, not just for Pochano as an artist or Terror Entertainment, but for the music industry, because we plan to work with a lot of other artists that are going to conform to the philosophy of what we're trying to do at Hipco Nation. So the website so far, is doing good. So I'd like to give special shout out to each and every Liberian producer, because here in the Liberian music industry, from my understanding, being here for such a long time and being able to work as a producer and an artist, I know that when you look at the music business, the music producer has always been the one really carrying the weight of our quote-unquote industry. So I want to shout out every Liberian music producer that has either laid the groundwork or has continued to push forward, carrying the weight of the music industry today, because entertainment, everything starts with music. Film, yeah, but even with films need music, you know what I mean? So everything starts with music. Maybe you'll get the lyrics, and then even when you have the lyrics, you still need music in order to make it a song. So my shot goes out to each and every Liberian music producer that has laid the groundwork, that has worked in the past and continue to work today to keep pushing Liberian music forward. I also want to shout out the Liberian videographers as well, because imagery in this new digital age is actually a tiebreaker, you know what I mean? So shout out to all the videographers, all those guys that are working in the background, making sure that our imagery continue to improve, music video, films, whatever it is, but just, movie producers, videographers, each and every one of the people working in the film industry to push, our art, tell our story through visual as well. And I want to give special shout out to our fans, the consumers. It's just because of you guys that we do this, you know what I mean? And I know along the way we get frustrated sometimes. We say, oh, our people don't support. To a certain degree, that's a fact. But also we have to understand that there are those who still support. It might not be the majority of the people, but we have to understand why they don't support sometimes, you know what I mean? And we need to acknowledge those that support and continue to inform and educate our people of how important it is for them to support us, because without them, we can't be who we are. And without us creatives, they themselves will not be able to understand who they are, because we are the people that are tasked with the job of reflecting our identity, telling our story. We are like a mirror. So we reflect everything that is Liberian that you can look at, because you can't look at yourself as an individual. You have to look in the mirror to see what you look like. And we are that mirror. We tell your story. We tell you, okay, your nose is big or your nose is small, or you're pretty, you know what I mean? So we all need to work together to push our country, forward, So, yeah, big shout out to our Liberian people. I just hope y'all continue to support everything that is Liberian. Maybe not just music and entertainment, but everything that you see that is Liberian. You see a Liberian doing something, support it. Let's focus on ways that we can, deal with our issues collectively and not just dwell on politics or wait for politicians. You see somebody doing something, just think about ways. You can't buy the music, share the music. You can't financially support an artist, promote it, talk about it, share it with your friends, share it with the people. Let's support. There are so many ways. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, go and play their videos, you know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to always support with money. There are so many other things that you can do that don't cost you money, but it still, help. Do a good comment or do a critical, honest comment, or a positive critique of their work that you can see where the weaknesses are and to improve on it. Let's do away with the negative narrative. Let's do away with doom and gloom. Nothing good will come from out of Liberia. Yeah, we already know that story, but it's not going to change if we just keep repeating it and feeding it to our heads. Then that's where we're going to be in. Generations are going to come and just follow that trend and nothing's going to change. But with a positive perspective, with a positive mindset, you can inspire somebody to make a change. Peace.